Hello, everybody, and welcome to this SUNY Potsdam broadcast of women's soccer. Today, the Bears host Castleton University in a non-conference contest. And the Bears will boot it downfield to get it started. Maeve Morrissey picking up for Potsdam, puts it back into the Castleton defense. And they're going to, I guess the clock did not start, so we will, I don't know if we're going to do it again or they're just going to move it back. I guess they are. So Castleton will have possession here.
Just hold on, relax.
So we'll get that straightened out in a second. And we're back underway here. That'll go out. And we'll have a throw-in on the sideline. That's Aaron Camerata. Throws it downfield across midfield. And looks like a handball against number 13, Caden Gauthier. So Potsdam will have a free kick. It's Emily Metz to take that for the Bears. Headed down by the Spartans. And this will be picked up by Megan Sardi. Plays the ball ahead, but it's kicked out of there by Camerata. On the far side, Potsdam plays it forward, bouncing off some bodies. McKenna Crossan now plays it forward to Maggie Crossan. And that'll go over the end line. We'll have a goal kick for Castleton. And in goal for the Spartans is Alex Benfatti. And that's played up the sideline. Kicked ahead by the Spartans, out of play into the Spartan bench. Emma Robbins will throw it in for Potsdam. And that is kicked out of there by Castleton. Now moved ahead by Shayna Lenny, picked up by the Spartans, and they'll move it back downfield. And that skips past Robbins on the far side. That is Jordan Madison for Castleton. And that's a center in front that's broken up there by Fitzgerald. She's trying to clear it to the side. She will. That goes off of a Spartan and out of play. And Potsdam will throw in down in their own corner. McKenna Crossan played it ahead. And now have a Potsdam throwing as this kick back out. And that one goes off of Holly Cudmore. And there's a shoulder from Emily Metz. So Metz fouls number 13, Caden Gauthier. And that's sent right in on Bears goalkeeper Chloe Gordon, and she makes the save. That was Bella Verisco who took that shot. Now played across midfield. McKenna Crossan will get there first. Emma Robbins on the far side. Just across midfield. Looking for Margaret Crossan, and that's out of play. No, it's kept in. So here's Gauthier. That's kicked away from her back to Medina on defense. Cudmore plays it ahead. Potsdam will take control. Robbins. And that's played to Grace Fitzgerald. Her pass picked off there. Now Lenny gets it back, and that's intercepted by Camerata. And played forward by Gauthier. And we'll have a foul there against the Bears. Gauthier was fouled, didn't see who fouled her. Bella Verisco will set up the kick, and looks like she's going to take it. And there's a shot. Punched away by Gordon, loose to the left side, and that'll be kicked out of play. That was Jamie Barrett who took the initial shot. So it'll be goal kick for Potsdam. Kinley Burns is going to take the kick for the Bears. Line drive towards midfield. That's off of Mackenzie Bowie, and that's knocked out of play. And we'll have a throw-in for Rachel Medina and the Spartans. Bouncing off a lot of bodies on the far side. Knocked away. Bears will pick it up, taken back by the Spartans, kind of back and forth. Nobody really in control for very long. And we'll have a foul against Potsdam, looks like. So there'll be a kick there. I believe that is Ashley Mezwar to take that. Kicked forward towards the net. That went off of Gauthier and over the end line, and looks like it'll be a corner kick for the Spartans. I believe that's Izzy Scott, number 10, in the corner, who's going to take the kick for Castleton. And that's headed over the net and out of play by Shayna Lenny, so that'll be another corner for the Spartans. Actually can't tell. It's either Izzy Scott, number 10, or Bella Verisco, number 18. It is Verisco who's taking the kicks, not Scott. So that's put in play again, right in front of the net. Knocked down, and Gordon comes away with it finally after fighting her way through a crowd. So I guess they're going to say she was fouled there, so either that or a goal kick, I'm not sure which. So Burns will kick it away for Potsdam.
I guess I could, yeah.
Headed down by Cudmore, played ahead off of Gauthier. Now taken away by Fitzgerald on the far side. She'll play it up the sideline. Looking for Margaret Crossan. That'll go out of play. Throw in coming up. And that's kicked off of a Bear and out of play. Throw in for the Spartans. A lot of throw-ins on that far side. I believe that's Lauren Fodder on the far side. Played back to Cudmore. Cudmore to Verisco. Verisco with a little bit of room. She's going to take a long shot, and a save made there by Gordon.
Yeah, I remember one girl story. Like she sat down on the side.
And Gordon will boot it away. Cross midfield. Margaret Crossan racing after, but it'll be kicked out of play by Cudmore. And Fodder muscles that one out of play. Another throw-in for the Bears. In for Mackenzie Bowie. Played ahead. McKenna Crossan and Margaret Crossan trying to get around the Castleton defense and kicked out again by Fodder. Another throw-in for Potsdam. 36-10 to go, first half, still scoreless. Mackenzie Bowie using her excellent footwork, trying to get away. Passed it ahead for Margaret Crossan. Fodder guarding her closely. Crossan trying to turn the corner. She stops. Plays it back to Mackenzie Bowie. And she will leave it, but it makes his way back to Megan Sardi. She puts it into the box looking for Maeve Morrissey trying to cut to the net, but it gets to Benfatti first. Benfatti will kick it downfield. Knocked down by Metz. Back to Verisco. Verisco plays it forward to Cudmore. Far side. Margaret Crossan takes it away for Potsdam. Will play it back to Burns. Burns to Robbins on the far side. And now the Bears will move it across midfield. Left and taken away by Cudmore and the Spartans. And Scott plays it across field. Maeve Morrissey's there for the Bears, trying to get away from Barrett. Gets by Camerata. And her centering cross is knocked back towards midfield. Here's McKenna crossing. Over for Sardi for Metz. Metz going to take a long shot there, and that goes over the crossbar and out of play. Goal kick for Castleton. 34:40 to go, first half. Still scoreless. Spartans looking to clear. That is knocked downfield. Fitzgerald in pursuit. Back up towards midfield. Fodder battling with Margaret Crossan. And looks like we'll have a Bears throw in. Emma Robbins on the far side. Mackenzie Bowie cutting into the crowd. And we'll have a throw in for the Spartans. 33:50 to go. Up the sideline. Moved ahead. Bowie with it now for Margaret Crossan. Crossan plays a long ball, goes into the defense. Waiting for it is Camerata. And that's played ahead to Verisco. Long ball there. And it'll get all the way to Chloe Gordon. She'll pick it up. Actually, she'll stop it. And now she'll pick it up as Barrett was thinking about charging in. Gordon back towards midfield. Knocked down by Medina. McKenna Crossan. Over for Metz. Metz still with it. Back to Fitzgerald on defense at midfield. Over to Lenny on the near side. And that's knocked ahead where it's picked up there by Medina. Medina up to Barrett. She's going to work it back a little bit, try to find some space, and now kick it ahead. Burns waiting for it for the Bears. Burns plays it to the far side. Margaret Crossan hustling after it. Will keep it in play, kicks it upfield. There's Robbins cutting for it now, trying to get around Meswar. Now kicked away, out of play, and we will have a Potsdam throw-in. Emma Robbins will throw it in for Potsdam. 32:14 to go here, first half, still scoreless. Mackenzie Bowie battling for it. Here's Bowie coming away. Her shot blocked there by Medina, and that's played to the sideline. So we'll have a throw in for Margaret Crossan. In for McKenna Crossan. To Sardi. Megan Sardi puts a shot in. That's deflected wide of the net, and Potsdam will have their first corner of the contest. So McKenna Crossan's hustling to the near side corner to take the kick there. See if the Bears can create their first strong scoring chance of the afternoon. Cross in front. That's knocked out of the box. Now Cudmore is going to carry it upfield a little bit. Actually, I think that is Madison. It is. So over for Barrett. Barrett plays a long ball ahead. That's intercepted by Grace Fitzgerald. Knocked forward by the Spartans. Up the sideline off of McKenna Crossan and out, and we will have a throw-in for Erin Camerata and the Spartans. And that's thrown in for Scott, Played back to Verisco. And now that goes all the way back to Belfatti, and she plays it to Medina. Ahead for Camerata, cross midfield. She plays it long. Fitzgerald and Lenny in pursuit. And Lenny will play it to Fitzgerald. Now back upfield past Metz. Who's going to get there first? It will be Maeve Morrissey. Cross midfield. And that'll go out of play. Potsdam throw in. Shayna Lenny to do the honors here. 30 minutes to go in the first half. Shots are 3 apiece at this point. Lenny sends it in. Morrissey trying to get it around Camerata. Camerata gets it back. Kicked away from Barrett. Barrett gets it back. And Lenny will kick that out of play. And they're going to say, I think, off of Barrett. So Potsdam throw in. 29:40 to go in the first. Here's Mackenzie Bowie playing ahead for Morrissey. Morrissey cutting towards the net now. She's ridden off the play. And the ball kicked upfield. Not cleared very far, though. Robbins and Fodder. Fodder gets there first. Plays to the far side. Madison has it now. In for Scott. Cross midfield. She'll leave it for Gauthier. And now she plays it forward. And a chance there for Madison, but she didn't get much on that, and that's picked up by Chloe Gordon, the Potsdam goalkeeper. She'll kick it away with 29 minutes to go in the first half. Across midfield, headed forward by Camerata. McKenna Crossan gets it back to Morrissey, to Bowie, to Crossan. McKenna Crossan trying to get around Cudmore. Plays it to the left side, and that's kicked away by Camerata. Barrett with it now for the Spartans. Back for Verisco. And that's sent ahead for Madison. Madison leaves it for Scott. Now to the far side, looking for Gauthier with a chance here on the left. She's going to take a shot, and that's going to be wide left and high, and we'll have a goal kick for the Bears. 28:14 to go. Kinley Burns will kick it away for Potsdam. 28 minutes left in the first half. 4-3 the shots in favor of the Spartans. Chloe Gordon's made 4 saves for Potsdam so far. And that's booted across midfield by Fitzgerald. Over for Maeve Morrissey. She's got Camerata in front of her. Morrissey with a little bit of room to move. And cuts to the right of Camerata. Now that's kicked away. Back, McKenna Crossan takes control. Over for Sardi to Metz. Now skips past her. Barrett again for Castleton. Ahead for Madison. She knocks that forward. Back into the Potsdam defense. It's going to be Burns hustling after it, and she'll kick it to the left side. And anybody going to get there? Nobody is. There'll be a throw in for Castleton. 27:13 to go, first half. I think that's Fodder on the far side. Lauren Fodder, the Gorham, Maine freshman. And that's kicked out of play there. Potsdam will have a goal kick. Kinley Burns will kick it away again. 26:33 to go, first half. Sent upfield. Ahead to Margaret Crossan. Up looking for Bowie. Skips past her. Spartans get it back. Madison. Now knocked away from her. Margaret Crossan. Leaves it for McKenna Crossan. Taken away by Madison. Across midfield. And that'll go into the Bears bench for a Spartan throw-in, looks like. Must have gone off of a Bear on its way out, so that is Lauren Fodder to throw it in again for Castleton. Played ahead, skips past Megan Sardi. Scott gets it back for Castleton, over for Varisco. Her pass is blocked back to Barrett. Barrett plays it back to Varisco. Right side, Camerata. She puts it over everybody, and it'll go over the end line. Potsdam goal kick. Burns will take the goal kick again for Potsdam with 25 even to go in the first half. So Cudmore back to fodder. That's kicked out of play. This time it will be a Potsdam throw-in, and it is Emma Robbins to take it for the Bears.
16 for 30 in Potsdam.
And our first sub of the contest, it'll be Leah Karabak.
That was on Boston, right?
Yeah.
Long throw up the sideline into the corner. Chasing after it is Gauthier and Burns. It'll go off of Burns. Another throw in for Castleton. 24 even to go. Sent in off of Madison. There's Karabak. She'll kick it right back out of play. Fodder will throw it in for Castleton. And we'll have a foul there. I think they're going to say Burns fouled a Spartan. Didn't see the Spartan number who went down there, but Castle will have a free kick to the far side. I think that's Varisco. And that is kicked out over the net, and Potsdam will have a goal kick. 23-12 to go. So booted upfield, Mackenzie Bowie. Now kicked away by Varisco. In the all-time series, these teams have only met 3 times. Potsdam is 2-1 against the Spartans. It's played ahead past Karabak. Now Gauthier plays it forward. Knocked down by Burns. Kicked up in the air by Metz. Gauthier knocks it down. Karabak trying to muscle her way in there. Now she plays it forward to Sardi. Sardi ahead for Mackenzie Bowie. She's got Margaret Crossan with her. And on the far side, she's got Maeve Morrissey. Taken away by Varisco first, though. And now Gauthier has it taken away by Metz. Sent to the far side for Morrissey. And that is kicked downfield and out of play. So in the history, teams first met in 2000 here in Potsdam, with the Bears coming away with a 1-0 victory. And in 2001, Potsdam went to Castleton and defeated the Spartans 12-1 there. But the last meeting was in 2013. So I guess that would be the third year that Coach Mishak was in charge. The Bears fell 4-1, and that was on September 1st, 2013. So we'll have a Spartan free kick coming up. Booted downfield. Out of play. Looks like we've got a Spartan substitution. So into the game, it will be Riley Pepin, number 34, taking the spot of Izzy Scott, number 10. And that'll go off of fodder. Potsdam will have a throw in. Metz with it now for the Bears, getting around Gauthier. She plays it long, but it's back in only a green jersey, and that is Rachel Medina. Charging in quickly, though, making up ground was Margaret Crossan. And that'll be kicked out of play. Potsdam will have a throw in. Shayna Lenny. So 3 substitutions for the Bears. One of them is Michaela Shipley.
Do you repeat those?
Potsdam switching out 45 for 20, Potsdam switching out 14 for 24, and Potsdam switching out 17 for 19.
We'll get those subs in a minute. So Kayla McKeever is in, Michaela Shipley, and we'll try to get the last one. Also, Sarah Emmy. Played ahead, McKeever picks it off. Emmy plays it back. McKeever will hustle after it, but it's taken away there by Cudmore. Cudmore plays it upfield. Nobody there but Metz. She'll take control for the Bears. Back towards Karaback. Up for Shipley. Okay, over for Sardi on the right side. Plays it to Maeve Morrissey. Fodder is in front of her for Castleton. Morrissey takes it in the corner, and that will go off of, they're going to say Maeve Morrissey. Maeve Morrissey doesn't agree. Looked like it went off of Fodder, but it's going to be a goal kick either way for the Spartans. 17:52 to go here in the first half. We are still scoreless. Shots 4-3 in favor of Castleton. All 4 of Castleton's shots have been on goal, and 4 saves made by Chloe Gordon. That's played back. Metz now taken away by Madison for the Spartans. Verisco now hustling after is Emmy. Knocked away by Lenny. Barrett goes down. Lenny across midfield. Played ahead for Emmy. And that'll be knocked out of play by Verisco. Potsdam should have a throw-in. Nobody's moving to take the throw-in yet. So 4 substitutions getting ready to come in for Castleton. That's kicked upfield. Sardi now takes it away the far side for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald upfield. Madison in pursuit. And that's up for Emmy. Now kicked away.
Please give the number that's coming in first. And then
So sent back. And it's played up by Gauthier trying to get around Fitzgerald. Sent to the far side for Madison. Fitzgerald. Gauthier battling with Karaback, and that'll go over the sideline. No, it'll be kept in. Now it goes out, and it'll be Fodder to throw it in for the Spartans. And they should have 4 substitutions. Trying to get the officials' attention there. Won't be a horn or anything, but they will have 4 substitutions. We'll try to get those for you in a minute.
17-4.
Callie Miltenberger is one of the Spartans into the game, as is Maddie Lindgren. There are 2 more, and we'll get them. Looks like Devin Beliveau-Gale.
20 for 16. 17 for 4.
Booted upfield by the Bears. Emmy tries to get around The defensive defender, Meswar, she gets up, gets the ball back, now moves it downfield, ahead for Lindgren. Plays it to the far side. I believe that is Chasey Livesey. Now that's played ahead. Picked up there by Belleville Gale. Belleville Gale takes a long shot right into the hands of Chloe Gordon. 14:50 to go first half. Potsdam and Castleton still scoreless. Chloe Gordon boots it towards midfield, ahead for Shipley. Shipley traps it, knocks it down, plays it ahead for Sardi. Sardi around Belleville Gale. Long pass ahead looking for Maeve Morrissey, but that's picked up there by Fodder first. Kicked away by Medina. Medina has it back, ahead for Miltonberger. Sent to the far side where Pepin picks it up. And that's played ahead. Pepin was looking for Belleville Gale, actually for Miltonberger, but it skips past everybody and out of play. Potsdam will have a throw-in. So Shayna Lenny will throw it in for the Bears. Up ahead for Emmy. Emmy for Karaback. Karaback with a little bit of room and a head of steam. Now trying to use Layla McKeever's speed, but Medina's going to outrace her there. Good hustle by both players, but Medina's on top now. And I believe they are going to call McKeever for the foul of Medina. So 19 fouling 15. And now played ahead. Belleville Gale trying to get around Karaback. Now gets it over to Cudmore. Kicked up in the air by Camerata. Headed down by Shipley over for Sardi. Back to Metz. Here's Emmy for Morrissey. Kicked away by Fodder. Livesey picks it up now for Castleton, brings it across midfield. Fitzgerald in pursuit. Livesey trying to keep it moving forward, ahead for Lindgren. Now taken away by Metz. Metz will move it back in the other direction. Here's Sardi. She's got Cudmore in front of her. Up the sideline, Fodder is there, actually kicked away from Morrissey. Still in. Fitzgerald back towards midfield. Cudmore slows it down, doesn't control it. Cudmore again. Back on defense. That is Meswar. And now taken away. Here's a chance for Emmy. Good recovery there by Ashley Meswar.
Can you repeat that, please?
That'll go into the Spartan bench. 11:49 to go. We are still scoreless. Each team's had a little bit of a swing of momentum, but a lot of the play's been in the midfield. Not too many great scoring chances. But Chloe Gordon's made some nice saves.
Good job, Lauren.
And Morrissey is going to foul Fodder, I believe. So 5 fouling 35. And we will have a Castleton free kick with 11:20 left in the half. Across midfield. Back to Kinley Burns. She'll move it in the other direction now. With a little bit of momentum. Goes off the official. And they're going to blow that dead. Not sure why. But Potsdam will restart it. Restart with it. Actually, they'll leave it for the Bears. Played ahead for Morrissey. Skips past Fodder. Cudmore plays it to Fodder. She knocks it back towards midfield. And Shipley plays it to Morrissey on the far side. That's back to Sardi. Sardi plays it ahead. Broken up by Fodder. And Spartans back in the other direction. Here's a collision there. Karaback and Pepin collided. Spartans still with it. 10:20 to go first half. Played ahead for Belleville Gale. Kicked away by the Bears into their bench, and it should be a Spartan throw-in. That goes off of Pepin back towards the sideline. Here's Cudmore to Pepin again. And that is left for, I think that's Heinrich on the far side. Bears get it back. McKeever for Shipley ahead for Sardi. Cross midfield for Shipley. And goes off of Belleville Gale and kicked back in the other direction by the Spartans. Now Potsdam gets it back. Kind of back and forth right in the midfield. Karabak plays it ahead for Morrissey. And guarding her closely is Heinrich. So Potsdam throwing there. Shipley will send it in. 9:11 to go in the first half. In for Morrissey, back to Shipley on the sideline. Played back to Karabak. She sends it towards the net. Not sure if that was meant to be a shot or not, but it's picked up by Benfatti. Alex Benfatti, the goalkeeper for Castleton. Belleville Gale plays it forward for Miltonberger. Back to Cudmore. And that's sent all the way back to Burns. Burns kicks it to midfield. Cudmore will track it down for Castleton. Nope, she'll let it go. Castleton throw in. And looks like Chase Livesey will throw it back in for the Spartans. Actually, Livesey's on the receiving end there, so I think that was Heinrich that threw it in for her. Now down the sideline, picked up by Burns. Burns up for Morrissey. She chips it over for Shipley. Shipley plays it ahead. Long ball there. Nobody's going to get to it but green jerseys. Actually, nobody's going to. Out of play. Throw in for the Spartans. 7:54 to go first half. Still scoreless. Shots 5-3 in favor of the Spartans. All 5 Castleton shots have been on goal. And Chloe Gordon's made 5 saves of varying difficulty. Played in. Now kicked away by Heinrich. Karabak. Now back upfield for Lindgren. Lindgren plays it for Devin Belleville Gale. Up for Miltonberger. And McKeever is going to foul her, and actually they're going to say, I guess maybe a handball off of Miltonberger. I don't know that she fouled her. Looked like it might have gone the other way. So here's McKeever. She tried to play it ahead, and that bounces off of Camerata. Picked up by Pepin to Cudmore. And she plays a long ball ahead. Shayna Lenny will get there, nobody around her. She'll turn it around. Up for McKeever, and that'll stay in play. Sardi now boots it forward. And chasing after it is Mezwar. And that's booted forward by Camerata. Looking for Miltonberger. Miltonberger plays it ahead for Pepin. Pepin with a little bit of space. Now left for Miltonberger. She plays it forward for Lindgren. Taken away by the Bears. Now Lindgren gets it back, and she'll send it forward. Gordon tracks that down. 5:50 to go first half. That goes off of Cudmore. Will roll back to Medina. Camerata with it now. Kicked ahead by Lenny, and that goes past everybody. Camerata will get there first. Guarded closely by McKeever. Played over for Belleville Gale. She'll chip it to Cudmore. Back to Mezwar on defense. Morrissey, and that's picked off there by Meswar. And Livesey will carry it upfield in front of Fitzgerald. Played it forward looking for Lindgren, kicked away by the Bears, and it will be a throw-in for Castleton. 4:55 to go here in the first half. Still scoreless, Castleton and Potsdam. Thrown in for Lindgren, can't control it, taken away by Sardi. Megan Sardi moves it to the far side, plays it ahead for Maeve Morrissey. Shipley. Karabak. Back towards midfield, Shipley again for Potsdam. That's off of Lenny. She'll kick it away from Camerata. Now she'll try to get around Camerata, and she puts it towards goal. Nobody there, though, and Benfatti picks it up. Benfatti, excuse me. Booted across midfield. Karabak is fouled there as it's kicked forward. So Fitzgerald will kick it downfield for the Bears with 3:39 to go in the half. Headed forward by Morrissey, headed away by Meswar. And that's knocked forward by Heinrich. Up for Belleville Gale. She'll carry it across midfield. There's Lindgren. Now she can't control it. Metz will take it back the other way for Potsdam. Emily Metz, the junior defender from Yorktown Heights. Shipley to Morrissey ahead. That'll go off of a Spartan, so Michaela Shipley will throw it in for Potsdam. In for Morrissey.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Booted back the other way by the Spartans. Off of Lindgren. Can't control it. Metz will play it around Lindgren. Taken away there by Livesey. Ahead for Lindgren. She's got a little bit of room to move here. Is she going to get a shot away? Burns is going to kick it away from her, and Lenny will send it over the sideline. Camerata will throw it in for Castleton University, excuse me. In for Metz. Trapped there, takes it to the sideline, and boots that off of Miltenberger, and I think they're going to call Miltenberger for a handball. No, they're going to say a foul against Metz, I believe, and we'll have a free kick for Castleton. Here's Cudmore. Holly Cudmore, the sophomore from Bolton, Massachusetts. She'll try to put her team in position for a goal. It's knocked down. Bears kick it out of the... Actually, it looks like there was a foul called there against Castleton. Taken away by the Spartans. There's a long shot by Livesey that was going wide. Picked up on a hop by Chloe Gordon. 52 seconds to go here in the first half. Number 17, Livesey, put that one almost on goal for Castleton. Playback, Camerata. Cudmore plays it forward, looking for Miltenberger. 35 seconds on the clock here in the half. Lenny moves it back towards midfield, knocked down by Cudmore. Sardi. Shipley. And Shipley plays it long. And Meswar will kick that out of play with 15 seconds to go. Potsdam's Maeve Morrissey will try to get it in quickly. Potsdam will try to make a final rush here with 11 seconds left.
9, 8,
Back towards midfield.
6, 5,
Burns and Lindgren battling for it. And that's going to do it. So real quick, we'll recap the first half statistics. Castleton now shooting the Bears 6-3. 6 saves made by Chloe Gordon. In the corners, 2-1 in favor of the Spartans. Fouls 8-4 called against the Bears. And with that, we will take a break. We'll be back to start the second half. And we're just about ready to get underway here in the second half. Still scoreless. And kicking off for the Spartans is Caden Gauthier. That'll go out of play. Potsdam throw in. Not a lot of great scoring opportunities in the first half. Chloe Gordon did make 5 saves. A couple of them challenging, but a lot of them were coming. The Bears defense did a nice job of forcing the shots from farther out, and Gordon had a clear vision of all of them. Fodder's going to kick that out of play with Grace Fitzgerald charging hard. Fitzgerald's going to throw that in for the Bears. In for Karabak for Shipley. And that goes, Fitzgerald was trying to put a cross in front of the net, but went off the side of her foot over the end line, and it'll be a goal kick for Castleton. So Ben Fatty will kick it away. 44 minutes even to go. We're 1 minute into the second half. Both teams looking for their first strike. Played up the field. Head for Gauthier. She's battling with Karabak. Fighting her way upfield, just across midfield, still in control. Sardi knocks it away, but Castleton gets it back. Here's Cudmore. Pass Scott ahead for Gauthier, and that goes off of Metz and will go out of play right near the corner, and will be a throw-in for Castleton. It'll be Barrett to send it in for the Spartans. In for Gauthier, knocked back to the sideline, and Potsdam couldn't keep it in. That was Sardi, I think, who made the attempt, but it'll be another throw-in for Castleton. And Belleville Gale, I believe, on the far side. That's knocked out of play. Potsdam will have a throw-in. Moving quickly. Goes off of Emmy. Now back the other way. Here's Gauthier. Gauthier, excuse me. Gauthier. Saying her name wrong the whole day. All right, headed forward. And that is Madison. Now kicked wide by Fodder, and we'll have a goal kick for Potsdam. Kinley Burns will kick it for Potsdam. Upfield, trapped by Michaela Shipley. Back to Metz to the sideline for Morrissey. And that'll go off of, both off of Fodder and Morrissey, and they're going to say off of Fodder last, so a throw in for Grace Fitzgerald and Potsdam. Now they're going to reverse that call. Fodder will throw it in for Castleton. Up the sideline. Burns gets it back for the Bears. For Morrissey. Fodder takes it away, and that's kicked away by Burns. Fodder will throw it back in. Gauthier. Now kicked away from her by Burns, and another throw in for Castleton. Fodder. Lauren Fodder will throw it in. In for Madison. And back, kicked away by Fitzgerald. Another throw in for Fodder. Up into the corner. Burns there first. She'll kick it out of play. Another throw in for Castleton. 40-39 to go in the second half. Fodder throws it in, looking for Gauthier. Back to Fodder. Fodder trying to get around Shipley. Takes it towards the end line. Puts a cross in front. Broken up by Metz. Actually, top of the box. Here's a shot by...
Who was that shot by?
It was number 18, Bella Verisco. And now finally kicked away. Close call there. That one went off the post. That's the best chance that either team has had. Now Metz plays it upfield, looking for Emmy, trying to get around Medina. Emmy plays it forward. Sardi in a foot race there, but it's going to be Varisco. Turns it around, plays it ahead for Scott. Up for Gauthier. Gauthier puts a cross in front. Madison charging in, collides with Gordon, and now cleared out of there by Kinley Burns. Back to the top of the box. And Burns, I think they butted heads there. Burns, and I think that was Scott. And now we'll stop the clock, and the Bears trainer, Alex Birking, will go out to check everybody out there. So with that, we'll take a quick break. Be back with the restart of action. So we're going to have a free kick for Castleton just outside of the penalty area.
Okay, we still need to figure out, because 6 was supposed to... Oh, so 6 not in there now? So we were right.
So it's going to be Barrett. Looks like Barrett is on the left side of the ball. Who's going to take the kick here? 39:29 to go in the second half. Castleton trying to take advantage of this opportunity and take the first lead of the contest. And I think there's some discussion about whether Kinley Burns can come back in. Burns went off after she collided with Scott. Scott went off, and Riley Pepin came in her place. And I'm not sure who's in the middle. It's going to be... And they're going to leave it for Varisco, number 18. Tried to play it ahead. Potsdam blocked it. Now Varisco plays it up towards the end line. Barrett will get control. Played back for Camerata. Cleared out of the box by Burns. And down in the corner, looks like we will have a throw-in for the Spartans. Played back for Camerata. Over to the far side, Camerata gets it back. And that'll go out of play. Potsdam throw-in. Up the sideline. Shipley battling for it. Now taken away by Pepin. Cudmore with it. Back to the Bears defense. Burns gets there first. Runs it over the sideline. Madison in pursuit. Ahead for Morrissey. Emmy will move it up. Fodder in pursuit. Now Emmy will slow it down. She'll put it up towards the net. Kicked away by the Castletons. By Castleton. Sardi leaves it. Shipley now. Karaback. Back to Karaback. Chips it ahead. Goes off of a Spartan defender and kept in play by Benfatti. So that's booted towards midfield. Lenny waiting for it. McKeever now will chase after it. Go out of play, and it'll be Camerata to throw it in for Castleton. 37:09 to go here in the second half. We are still scoreless.
Yeah, time's out there. You said 9. 15, I said 15. You said 15. That's time throw. Yeah, she's up there.
Spartans will throw it in over McKeever. Shipley knocks it forward. Now Castleton kicks it down the sideline and out of play. Off of a Bear. Another Castleton throw in.
We're missing the first one. You said 22, 24.
Here's Shipley getting the ball back for Potsdam.
Just check
Varisco can't stop it. Sardi plays it forward. Now Camerata will chase it down. McKeever tangles with her, but Camerata keeps control up the sideline. Now McKeever knocks it out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for Castleton. 36:12 to go here in the second half. Over McKeever, knocked out of play by Lenny, and another throw-in for the Spartans. 35:57 to go. Lots of throw-ins. Pepin plays it ahead. Karaback tries to take control. Ahead, cutting through. Here is Emmy now taken away by Meswar, and she'll kick it out of play. Potsdam have a throw-in down near the corner, and that'll be Maeve Morrissey to throw it back in.
So just make a note that 6 is in there. I'm not sure when she came in.
So played ahead by Fitzgerald. McKeever far side. She turns and fires, and there's a save made by Benfatti. So shot by 19 and a save by Benfatti. I believe that's her first of the afternoon. Burns back in the other direction. And that's kicked to the far side and out of play. Lenny will hustle after it, and she'll throw it in for Potsdam. Out of play again. Potsdam will have another throw-in. Here's a chance. Sardi trying to get around Pepin. Pepin knocks it towards the sideline. Sardi finally breaks free. Puts it to the top of the box where it's kicked away by the Spartans. That was Medina who got there to defuse the situation. And now we'll have another Potsdam throw in it near their bench. In front of it. Back the other way come the Spartans. And Gauthier will chase it down. Can't control it. Another throw-in for Potsdam. 33:30 to go. McKeever fighting away past Camerata, and that'll go off of McKeever, so Camerata will throw it back in. Sardi knocks it down. Cross midfield. Trying to get around Camerata. And they're going to say Camerata fouled Sardi. So 12 fouling, 15 on that play, and Shane. No, it was out of play. Wasn't a foul. Throw in for Potsdam. Shipley back to Gauthier, battling with Metz. Now Shipley. Gauthier still in control. Leaves it for Barrett. Gauthier sends it ahead. It was off of Madison. Cudmore plays it forward. Back to Metz. She heads it up in the air. Booted towards midfield. Camerata charging in. Kicks it down. That'll go out of play. And Potsdam will have their first two substitutions of the second half. So it'll be Chelsea Speranza and McKenna Crossan into the game for the Bears. Pepin for Cudmore, taken away by McKenna Crossan. Head for Emmy, back to McKenna Crossan. Pepin in front, plays it forward, over for Morrissey. Morrissey has fodder in front. Karabak plays it ahead, and that'll be kicked out of play by Meswar. Fitzgerald in for Morrissey, and that'll go off of Morrissey, and we'll have a throw in for Castleton. 31-10 to go, second half. Still scoreless.
Just making all the rubber lines like switch out over and then being hope you don't score.
So here's Burns. Burns to Fitzgerald. Played long towards Benfatti, and she'll charge out and get it with Speranza coming in. Cross midfield. Barrett won't get there first, gets to Metz. She'll try to turn around on Barrett over towards the sideline, and that'll be kept in play. Speranza for Emmy. That'll be off of Barisco. Bounces over to Morrissey. Karabak plays it towards the sideline. Fodder kicks it back towards midfield. Shipley picks it up for Karabak. Back to Shipley. Kicked away there by Barisco, and that'll go out of play. Fitzgerald will throw it in for Potsdam. Shipley towards the end line. Here's Morrissey. Her cross, not a lot on it. Kicked back upfield by the Spartans. Madison with Fitzgerald now. Back to Fodder. To Burns at midfield. Up for Shipley. And that will be off of Cudmore. Fitzgerald. Off of Morrissey. Picked up by Emmy. Back to Shipley. And kept in. Now they're going to... No, it was kept in. Now booted downfield by Castleton. Here's a chance for Gauthier. She's got Metz in front of her, and that's it. Now getting back is Burns. Gauthier cuts towards the middle of the field, trying to get around Metz. Now kicked away by Metz. Nice job there by Emily Metz to keep her from moving past. Here's Karabak. Cudmore will let that one go out of play, and we'll have a throw in for Castleton. And Fodder's going to throw that in, but before she does, we'll have a substitution here for the Spartans. And that is going to be Devin Bellevaux-Gale coming into the game, number 30 for Castleton. 28-35 to go here in the second half. Headed down by Shipley, chipped ahead by Meswar.
Just trying to get the numbers pretty similar.
That'll go off off of Gauthier, and now Potsdam will have to throw in. Fitzgerald up for Morrissey. And they're going to say Burns fouled Gauthier. Meswar will take the kick. 27:57 to go here in the second half. Headed down by Shipley, over for Morrissey. Long ball ahead. Who's going to get there first? It'll be Meswar. She'll kick it out. Tried to kick it off of Emmy. Couldn't do it. Potsdam will have a throw in. And it'll be Grace Fitzgerald. And now I believe they're going to call McKenna Crossan for a handball. 27:18 to go, second half. And Meswar is going to kick it downfield. Popped up in the air towards the sideline, and that'll go out of play. So a couple substitutions there, now played upfield. Towards the middle of the field, picked up there. Karabak with it. Karabak works her way through, finally broken up by Fodder, and that one went off of Karabak's face, and she goes down. Benfatti picks it up. She seems to be all right now, though. 26:07. And that's booted upfield by Benfatti. Lenny knocks it down. Pepin picks it up. Back the other way come the Bears. Lenny across midfield. And that's knocked into the Castleton defense. Broken up there. Ahead for Belleville Gale. Back for Meswar, and she hits it long. Metz plays it to the sideline and out of play.
Yes, please.
So now a substitution. Izzy Scott back in the game. She was injured earlier. Back and forth at midfield. Now Shipley comes away with it. Taken away by Milton Berger. Back and forth along that far sideline. Shipley again. Ahead for Emmy, to the sideline for Shipley. Shipley towards the middle of the field for McKenna Crossan. He's got Varisco right behind her. Now to Shipley on the sideline. She boots it towards the top of the box, headed out by Meswar. And I think we might add a handball in there somewhere. I think off of Varisco, number 18. So Potsdam will have a free kick with 24:12 to go. So Emily Metz will kick this away for Potsdam. Everybody lining up at the top of the box. And that's kicked wide left of the net. And we'll have a goal kick coming up for Castleton. Potsdam throwing. Metz. Now kicked ahead by Lenny, and that'll bounce all the way back to Benfatti. She'll pick it up. 23-12 to go. Now booted back in the other direction. Knocked down by the Bears. Kicked ahead. Potsdam throwing coming up. Lenny restarts it. In for Shipley. Kicked away by Castleton. Right back out. Another throw in for Potsdam. 22-40 in the second half. In for Crossan. Scott almost got control. Could not. Now kicked towards the middle of the field. Meswar picks it up. Belleville Gale. And now that's taken away by Grace Fitzgerald. She'll move it upfield. Cross midfield for Maeve Morrissey. She's got fodder in front. Kind of shoved from behind by Livesey. And now that's broken up by Meswar. Fitzgerald gets it back. Plays it to the top of the box. Knocked down there by Camerata. And she kicks it right back to Fitzgerald. Headed forward. Livesey plays it ahead. Now Burns. Looked like she was tripped up there by Lindgren. No call. Taken away by Metz. Metz for Shipley. Back to Karabak. To the near side. Morrissey, here's Karabak on the right side. Cross in front. There's Emmy trying to find some room. Plays it over for McKenna Crossan. Her shot is blocked there by Camerata. Now sent back in by Lenny and scooped up there by Benfatti. So a little bit of a rush there for Potsdam. And that's booted downfield. Kicked away by the Spartans. Michaela Shipley gets it back. McKenna Crossan with it on the sideline. Camerata in front of her. And that'll go out of play, and it'll be a Potsdam throw-in. 20:42 to go here in the second half. Still scoreless. Shots 8-6 in favor of the Spartans. Lenny. Now that's knocked away. And that'll go out of play. Potsdam with another throw-in. Burns to the sideline for Lenny. To McKenna Crossan. Goes off of Varisco and out of play. Potsdam will have another throw-in. Under 20 minutes to go in regulation now. That'll go out of play. Another throw-in for the Bears. Michaela Shipley. Meswar gets part of that, doesn't really control it, sends it over to the sideline, and that'll go out of play. Headed forward by the Spartans, popped up in the air, still not cleared. Meswar now plays it upfield. Grace Fitzgerald sends it back towards the goal, and it'll be picked up on a bounce there by Benfatti. And booted upfield. Here's McKenna Crossan back the other way for Potsdam. Varisco in front. Played ahead. Here's a chance there, and a save made by Benfatti. A diving stop. I think that was Sarah Emmy who took that shot. And that's the biggest save Benfatti's made today. Back towards midfield. Popped up in the air by Livesey. Over Lindgren. Kinley Burns gets it back for the Bears. Takes it to the sideline. Belleville Gale in front of her. Now she gets by her. Fodder in front. Fodder challenger. Stays with it. Kinley Burns in the right corner. And sends it along the sideline. And did it go off of a Spartan? It did not. So it'll be a goal kick for Castleton, and they will have a substitution. So Barrett back into the game for Castleton. 17:55 to go. Sent downfield by Meswar, headed up in the air by Lindgren. Far side, Barrett in control, chips it ahead. Lenny gets it back for Potsdam.
It says that, but then here it says. So that's what confusing.
Sent upfield, Lindgren. Now knocked away there by Burns. Far side, Barrett. And that'll be off of McKenna Crossan, so it'll be a Castleton throw-in. 17:12 to go. Scott with it now, played ahead, looking for Verisco, kicked away by Lenny. And goes off of Camerata into the Castleton bench, and we'll have a throw-in for Potsdam. Lenny throws it in. Kicked away from Shipley. It'll get over to Karaback, though. Battles with Lindgren. Lindgren pokes it away. Scott gets it back. Now off of Metz. Sent over to the far side. Camerata. Here is Scott. Over to Belleville Gale. Head for Fodder. Fodder across midfield. To the near side, looking for Livesey. Livesey cutting towards the net. And she had a shot blocked there by Burns. Shipley plays it back the other direction up for Maeve Morrissey just across midfield. And that'll be off of Meswar and a throw-in for Potsdam, and we'll have a substitution first. Check on that number. It'll be Mackenzie Bowie back in. They could use a goal here by Bowie. Bowie is tied for 10th all-time in scoring for the Potsdam Bears. A goal would move her into sole possession of 10th place. She's got 43 now, tied with Nicole Volpe and Corey Witkowitz. She is 3 points back of Deidre Palmer. Medina picks it up, and Lenny chips it back to Speranza. Here's McKenna Crossan. That's sent in by Karaback right into the hands of Benfatti on a hop. Lindgren heads it down. Belleville Gale will hustle after it. Play it ahead for Livesey. Livesey plays it back for Fodder, and that'll go out of play. Off of Belleville Gale, Potsdam will have a throw-in now. It'll be Grace Fitzgerald for Shipley. And that's sent to the far side by Burns. Hustling after it is Speranza. Barrett plays it ahead. Lenny gets it back for Bowie. Sent into the corner for Speranza, trying to get around Barrett. And that'll go over the end line. And the way Speranza hustle after it, it's going to be a goal kick for Castleton. And there should be a substitution coming in as well. Now there is. So Gauthier is back into the game. Lindgren will go out. Benfatti will set up the goal kick and dump it off to Meswar. Back to Medina. She'll send a line drive ahead off of Shipley. And that'll be kicked downfield and out of play. Camerata will throw it in. 13:30 to go here in regulation. Still scoreless. Couple opportunities in the second half. Not much, though. for either team. Crossing back to Lenny. Played ahead. Now kick back towards midfield. Lenny now sends it into the box, headed up in the air by Meswar, who's going to get there first. Belleville Gale heads it down. Oh, turnover there. Now cleared to the sideline. Livesey will get there. Try to get around Grace Fitzgerald. She sends it ahead. So that's across midfield. Here's Metz, taken away by Camerata, though, across midfield. Good numbers there for Castleton. Here's a chance, and that's kicked away by the Bears, and I think we're going to have a throw-in. No, we're going to have a foul. So Emily Metz was fouled on the play. And Potsdam will have a free kick. 12:18 to go. Here's Gauthier, turns around, puts one on goal, and on a hop, Chloe Gordon picks it up. 12 minutes even to go in regulation. We've got a substitute for each team. Verisco to Belleville Gale, played towards midfield, knocked ahead by Lenny, skips past Speranza and Camerata, and kept in by Medina. Now she'll kick it out on the sideline, so Potsdam will have a throw-in and a substitution. We'll have one for each side. Looks like Madison coming back in for the Spartans, and it is going to be Margaret Crossan in for Chelsea Speranza. So, kicked away from Metz. Metz recovers, though. Plays it up the sideline. Lenny has it taken away. And Barrett keeps it in play. Plays it back to Medina. 10:50 to go here in the second half. Still scoreless. Benfatti boots it long. And now we'll have a throw-in for Potsdam. No, it's still in play. Thought it went out there. And got some bumping there. I think Camerata bumped Margaret Crossan, so I believe the foul was 12 on 17, maybe. 10:19 to go here in the second half. Potsdam will move the free kick into position. Metz has got Bowie to her right. And she's got two Spartans in front of her. I believe it's Verisco and Barrett. Now Barrett will back up. And Bowie puts that in on goal, scooped up there by Benfatti. 9:45 to go. Booted back across midfield. Here's Gauthier picking it up, playing it to the sideline for Barrett. Barrett trying to get around Lenny and takes it away from Lenny, up for Gauthier. Here's a chance on the right side, puts a cross in front, knocked down by Fitzgerald. That'll go over the end line. We'll have a corner kick for Castleton. 9:15 to go, second half, still scoreless. Not 100% sure. I think that is Barrett in the corner. Now we have a substitution. So Pepin is in for Scott. Top of the box, headed up in the air, falls in front of Cudmore. Getting it back is Meswar, and nope, there was a foul there, so we will have a kick for Potsdam. 8:37 to go. Sent ahead by Bowie. for Emmy. Down the sideline looking for Bowie. That'll be taken by Meswar, though. Bowie gets it back, trying to work her way in. Puts a cross in front. That's kicked out by Medina. Back to Emmy. To Bowie again. And now I believe they're going to call the Bears offsides. And Meswar kicks it down to Pepin. She chips it forward. Trapped there by Burns. Burns takes it across field. Pepin in front of her. And recovers. And now Pepin takes control. Plays it back. And now Burns is going to foul Pepin. Little frustration there. Physical play. Some shoving back and forth. So it'll be Meswar it's going to take the kick here. 7:18 to go. Both of these teams looking for their first goal of the game. Meswar boots it long. And that's off of Shipley. He'll go to the sideline. Fitzgerald hustles after it, and she's just going to kick it out. Smart play there. Throw in coming up for Fodder and the Spartans. Send in Belleville Gale. Will play it back to Cudmore. And that is a shot wide right of the net. 6:36 to go. A lot of the shots they've come from farther out. I think the defense have done a good job of clearing out the space in front of the goalies. And that's sent up midfield, headed down by Gauthier. Back to Burns, up for Shipley. Sent across midfield into the Bears bench, and we'll have a throw in for Castleton as Camerata. She sends it in. We're down to 6 minutes to go in regulation. See if one of these teams can jump in front before overtime. And that's played up the sideline. Here's Bowie. Camerata in front of her. Bowie trying to fight her way around. Camerata will kick that out of play, and Potsdam's going to have a throw in. Looks like Margaret Crossan's going to take it for the Bears. 5:35 to go in regulation. Crossan sends it in. And some players got tangled on the far side there. No call by the officials. And that's sent in front. Now Meswar will kick it back to the sideline. Barrett waiting for it. She'll carry it up the sideline. Margaret Crossan tried to kick it away from her. She kept control. Cudmore ahead for Gauthier. And now sent back in the other direction by Fitzgerald. Kept in play by Emmy. Fitzgerald to Bowie, back to Emmy. Now played ahead for Bowie. Trying to get around Meswar. And that's back to Emmy. Taken away by Gauthier. Now kicked away from her. Metz gets it back for Potsdam. Over for Shipley. Ahead for Karabak. To the sideline for Emmy. She'll play it to the top of the box. Knocked down by Margaret Cross. And here's a chance, Karabak. And that is deflected out of play by Meswar. Nice defensive play there, but Potsdam's going to get a corner kick. And it's going to be McKenna Crossan to take this. Can Potsdam turn this into something with just under 4 minutes to go here in a scoreless contest? And she's going to get it to her sister, Margaret Crossan. And Crossan back to McKenna Crossan. Back to Margaret. Here's a chance. In front, Metz with a shot and a big save there by Ben Fatty. Got a hand on it. And it'll be another corner kick for the Bears coming up. Nice play there by Potsdam. The Crossan sisters to Metz in front. And it looks like we'll have McKenna crossing again with Bowie right next to her. See if it's a short little kick there or if she's going to put it into the box herself. And we're down to 3 minutes to go in regulation in this scoreless contest. Looks like Bowie's going to take it herself, launch it into the box, and hope the Bears can create something. Headed out, though, by Meswar. Fitzgerald plays it forward into the corner. Bowie, and that is going to be a Potsdam throw-in. So here's Grace Fitzgerald now. Looking for Karaback. Bounces. Here's Emmy. Now she can't control it. Kicked out by Castleton. Here's Barrett. Barrett plays ahead for Gauthier. Gauthier looking for Madison. Madison with a chance here, tied up with Fitzgerald. She kicks it away. Not real far away, though. Madison tries to recover. Still in control. 2 minutes to go. Madison in front. Here's Pepin. That's broken up there by Burns and now kicked downfield by Shipley. So the Bears dodge a bullet there. Emmy, with 1:48 to go, plays a long ball ahead. Now Camerata kicks it back in the other direction. Far side, here's Barrett for the Spartans. Puts a cross in front, knocked down by Burns over the sideline. Barrett does it again, and this one will go over the end line. Potsdam will have a goal kick with 90 seconds to go here in regulation. Both teams looking for their first goal, and if either of them gets one, it may be the difference in this game. Burns off of McKenna crossing, sent ahead by Margaret crossing, now kicked back in the other direction by Medina. Waiting for it is Metz, and she'll send it out of play. Throw in for Camerata in front of her own bench with 55 seconds to go. That one will go off of Barrett. Potsdam have a throw in. Lenny sends it down the sideline. Back to Medina, and she'll kick it right out of, towards midfield. And this one will be headed out of play. Another throw in for Barrett and Castleton. In for Gauthier. Back to Barrett. Ahead for Gauthier, getting around Lenny. And now that'll be kicked upfield by Lenny. Crossan attempt to move it downfield, directed back. Shipley up for Bowie. And Potsdam's going to have a throw in here with 10 seconds to go.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
That's down to Meswar, knocked down by Metz, and we are headed to overtime here in a scoreless game. So overall, shots 10 apiece, 6 saves for Chloe Gordon and 4 for Alex Benfatti. And the corners are 3 apiece. And with that, we'll take a break. We'll be back with the start of overtime. So we are underway here in the first overtime, still scoreless. Here is Sarah Emmy for the Bears, plays it ahead. Medina back towards midfield. Emmy gets it again, trying to get around Cudmore. Over for Sardi, back to, that's over Shipley. Here is Bowie, that's deflected away from her. Corner kick here. And it's going to go over the end line. It will be...
It still said that the Spartans are going this way, though. How do you change direction? Okay. Alright, there you go. We're good. So we'll just what happened?
So we have another corner for Potsdam. And now it's taken away by Barrett. Back come the Spartans. We're down to 8:20 in the first overtime. Here's Kinley Burns. Play to the near side. Here is Sarah Emmy. Fodder in front of her for the Spartans. Kara back. And that'll go out of play. Potsdam a throw in. We apologize. Looks like there are some network issues here, so hopefully we don't lose the stream. Shouldn't be for more than a few seconds if we do. And looks like an we'll have an offsides call against the Bears. And we'll have a free kick for Castleton. 7:40 to go in this first overtime. Now booted upfield past Cudmore. Shipley gets it back. Shipley plays it forward. That'll go all the way back to Benfatti, and she'll pick it up. 7:20 to go in the first overtime. Headed back across midfield. Emmy gets by Fodder. Over for Shipley. Knocked away from her. Metz collides with Gauthier, and now she'll hustle after it. And we'll have a throw in for Castleton. 6:40 to go in the first overtime. And that's played down into the corner. Barrett. And we'll have a throw in for Potsdam. 6:28 on the clock in the first overtime. And again, we apologize. There seems to be some fluctuation in our network. Shipley. And now we'll have a foul there against the Spartans. 5:57 to go. And that's booted across midfield, up in the air and out of play. Castleton throw it back in. Shots at 10 apiece. 6 saves for Chloe Gordon of the Bears, 4 for Alex Benfatti of Castleton. Camerata plays it ahead, off the head of Fitzgerald. Bears will turn it around. Here's Shipley. Fodder picks it up for Castleton. Over for Cudmore, back to Fodder. She sends it ahead. Kicked away by Metz. Crossing. And that is up for Bowie. Stopped by Meswar. Bowie gets it back ahead for Karabak. Collides there with Meswar. She plays it ahead. Shipley dives for it. It goes over the sideline, and Emmy will keep it in, battling with Madison. And Emmy fouls Madison. So it'll be Meswar to take the free kick here. 4:10 to go in the first overtime. Shipley back in the other direction, knocked down by Meswar. Here's Bowie trying to get through, comes away with it. Bowie on the right side, Fodder in front of her, and now Fodder takes it back in the other direction. Here's Karabak for Potsdam. That's off of Verisco.
Castleton, 34 is going in for 10.
And that goes back to Benfatti. Cross midfield, off of Lenny, over to Metz. Can't control it. Here is Gauthier trying to get past Metz, and she takes control. Metz plays it back. Looking for Karabak. Up for Emmy. Trying to get around Fodder. And now she's pulled down, and we'll have a foul. Fodder fouling Emmy. Went down hard there, but Potsdam will have the free kick. Grace Fitzgerald will take it. 2:45 to go here in the first overtime. And that's booted to the top of the box, headed up in the air, back in the other direction. Scott forward, off of Fitzgerald. Medina plays it ahead now. Barrett leaves it for no one, and Sardi battling for it with Cudmore, and Cudmore comes away. 2:20 to go. And that's played ahead. Here's a chance here. Madison will go collect it after it goes off of Chloe Gordon. Plays it to the top of the box. Izzy Scott. That's deflected off of Bear. Cudmore plays it back to Verisco. Far side for Barrett. Ahead for Gauthier. And she'll be bumped down there. That'll go over the sideline. Potsdam have a throw in. 2 Castleton subs waiting to come into the contest. With 1:40 to go in the first overtime. That is headed out by Castleton. Another Potsdam throw in. Booted ahead by the Bears. Here's Fodder. Fodder sends it back the other direction. Goes past Madison. Burns will chase it down. 1:15 on the clock. Up for Emmy. Emmy ahead for Karabak. Looking for Mackenzie Bowie. Leaves it for Sardi. Sardi has it poked away from her by Foddy. Gets back to Meswar. Over for Verisco. There's Barrett with 50 seconds to go in the first overtime. Back the other way by Metz. And kept in. Here's Camerata. Camerata, good footwork there. Plays it forward for Verisco. 31 seconds to go in the first overtime. Ahead for Gauthier. And now we'll have a foul against the Bears with 23 seconds left in the first overtime. And Gauthier, I think they clanged some shins together pretty hard there. And we'll see if the substitutions come in with 19.1 seconds left. So we are underway here in the second overtime. Mets will move it ahead. Headed up in the air by the Bears. Chasing after it is Barrett. Played over for Camerata. Taken away by Margaret Crossan now. So Lenny ahead. Medina. Sent to the far side for Barrett. Taken away by, actually that was Fodder on the far side. And that'll go out of play. A throw-in coming up for Potsdam. 8:30 to go. Shots are even at 10 apiece. Had a couple good scoring chances on either side, but not able to sustain pressure. Barrett moves it upfield. Here's a chance. And they are going to call a foul there against, let's see, there was a whistle blew, and then now we're going to stop the clock here. I think Leipzig's may get a card here. And she will. So Chase Leipzig with a card at 7:53. So the Bears will play it upfield. So this game's gotten more physical as time has gone on, and we are now into the 103rd minute in this contest.
Oh, she's going over there. So who's going over 20? She's got blood.
So looks
20 is in for 24.
So it looks like Shipley is out and Emmy is in for Potsdam. So Burns will kick it downfield, and Emmy will move it up the sideline, try to get around Fodder. There's a hip check there against Pepin. So, and now looks like we're stopping the clock again, and I guess the official's just placing the ball. There's no card this time. 7:53, and the clock is not running. So now they're moving the clock to 7:40.
Who are those substitutions up there?
I'm sorry, say that again?
The two girls in the uniform.
So now it's kicked long.
He's not going in for anybody yet, because she just came out in front of me. But I think 20 went in for her when she came out in front of me.
What about the Castleton person?
So now here come the substitutions. Michaela Shipley back in for Potsdam, and it looks like Miltenberger. No, it is number 29, Maddie Lindgren, taking the spot of Jordan Madison.
Okay, we're just getting it for 24 for 20.
So 24 came in for the Bears, taking the spot of number 20, Sarah Emmy. So back the other way. Here's Barrett for Castleton. 6:55. That's a long ball played ahead, and Gordon's going to come out and kick that to the sideline, and it'll be a throw-in for Castleton. 6:50 on the clock. Still looking for the first goal in this contest, and if someone gets it, it'll be the decisive one, as we are in golden goal in overtime.
Everything else is fine. It's fine with her. We're just gonna stay.
And that'll be kicked out of play. Potsdam throwing again, 6:23 to go. Shipley, Fodder. Fodder keeps it in play. Now she doesn't, so that'll go out. And that is kicked. Headed it down. Bowie. Livesey tangling with Shipley. In for Pepin. 550. Now kicked across midfield. Kind of back and forth. Sardi plays over for McKenna Crossing. Can't control it. Now knocked ahead. So back to Meswar on defense. Medina kicks it forward. Pepin. And now that's taken away by Metz. Sent down towards the end line. Picked up by Medina. She'll turn it around, kick it back towards midfield. Up off of Pepin, but Metz gets it for Potsdam over for Shipley. 5:09. Bears play it again towards the end line. That will go over the end line. We'll have a goal kick coming up for Castleton with 5 minutes to go in this second overtime. Booted ahead off of Karabakh, now kicked away by Camerata. Karabakh with it for the Bears. Shipley to McKenna Crossan, over to Grace Fitzgerald. That'll go out of play, and we have a Potsdam throw in. 4:13 to go. Kicked downfield by Camerata. Lindgren chasing after it. By Burns. Lindgren in a foot race now. Fitzgerald. Lindgren keeps control. 3:40 to go. Lindgren trying to create something on the left side, cutting towards the net. Metz will boot it out of there and out of play. No, it stays in. Cudmore kicks it ahead, and now we have a Potsdam throw-in with 3:27 to go. Sent in by the Bears. And Pepin collides with Metz. Actually, it was Sardi, I think. Played up. McKenna Crossan has taken away by Cudmore for Pepin. Shipley with her. Played ahead, up for Lindgren. Lindgren trying to get around the Bears defense. Played back to Verisco, over for Cudmore. Taken away by Karabakh. Karabakh to Margaret Crossan, back to Karabakh. It's up to Bowie, over for Sardi. 2.5 minutes to go in the second overtime. So back in the other direction come the Spartans. Up for Lindgren. Lindgren fighting her way forward. It's knocked away. And now I think they're going to call Grace Fitzgerald with a handball there, just outside of the penalty area. So the lineup there, Barrett's going to put the ball down. I don't know who's going to take it, maybe Verisco. 1:47 to go. So after all this, are the Spartans going to be able to get a goal here? Verisco's lining it up. And played over to Barrett here on the right side, and that's deflected. Nice job there by Margaret Crossan to keep that from going towards the net. Played back for Risco. Now down towards the end line, and that'll be kicked upfield. Barrett gets it back. Crossan plays it ahead. Off of Camerata. Bowie now. That's broken up by Medina. Back the other way, Cudmore. Cudmore takes a long shot into the arms of Chloe Gordon. I don't know if that was going wide or not. And now Gordon boots it downfield. 56 seconds to go. Off of Cudmore. Over for Fodder. 50 seconds left. And Fodder will boot that long, and it'll be a throw-in for Potsdam. 44 seconds left in this second overtime.
Let's go, Bree. Keep it down here.
Karabak now kicked away. Margaret Crossan plays it to the sideline. Hustling after it is Lenny. And that'll be kicked out of play by Barrett. Potsdam to throw it in with 22 seconds. Lenny sends it downfield ahead for Sardi. Sardi puts a cross. Here's Bowie with a chance. Bowie trying to fight her way through. 13 seconds left. Bowie plays it to the left side for Sardi with 10 seconds. And now looks like we've got a foul called against Megan Sardi, and that's going to do it. So these teams will play 110 minutes and will end in a scoreless tie. So the final shots, 12-10. Castleton with the edge there. And the saves, Chloe Gordon with 7 and Alex Benfatti with 4. So with that, we will wrap it up here. The Bears are back in action on Saturday when they host Plattsburgh in their Suniac finale at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Before that, the women's volleyball team will resume Suniac play. They will host Oswego at 6 o'clock on Friday. We also will be streaming the men's hockey exhibition game against SUNY Canton at 7 o'clock on Friday. On Saturday, the Bears women's volleyball team will face Cortland. That'll be streamed. And then at 5 o'clock, the Bears men's hockey team will square off with Skidmore College in another exhibition. That's at 5. So all of that will be streamed. Lots of games coming up this weekend. We hope you'll join us. Thanks for watching this afternoon. Final score here, Castleton 0, Bears 0 in double overtime.